Hello, art friends. This is Miss Joyce from the Kreative Kidz Art Bus. That's right, Artie the Art Bus and I are about to get creative with you. I hope you're having an awesome Canada Day. Today, we will be doing a sketch of Milne Trail together. And the best part about celebrating Canada Day is acknowledging these beautiful trails just like you see in this picture. We will be doing some line work together. We'll be learning how to make the grooves and the markings that you see on the wood. These markings are very identified by the age of the tree that they used to make this walkway on this trail. The trees in the background, whether they're dense or empty like that area there, we will all learn together. Okay, art friends, I hope you were able to download the photo so that you can use. You are doing an expert tutorial, so I know that my age group, 10 and over, are able to do this. I am very, very proud that you are attempting to draw this scenic photo. So take the time, if you haven't already done so, to press pause, go back into the link where the video was, and right-click on the photo, and that way you can print it and have it for you. So, let me see. Are you ready, City of Markham? Let's do this. Getting your geometry set, if you have one, or if you don't have one, you can use a simple ruler. We'll be doing line work. So having a triangle, any one of the triangles or a ruler available is very important and very handy, especially when we're doing a lot of symmetry work and line work. So we're going to need one of these for sure. So pick which one you like. And yes, don't forget to pause the video if you need to. All right, art friends, let's start off by working on the right side of the picture. We'll make one line and then a second line, both on an angle. We're going to connect both of those lines. What we're doing is we're trying to create the boardwalk, the right side of the boardwalk that has the few wood blocks. You'll need to make them in a 3D shape. So how do you make a 3D shape? You basically create another line going across and then back down like that. Now you have a actual cube, a rectangular cube, and from the middle point of that rectangular cube, you'll need to make another line going straight up like that. That will create the second step down. Now we'll make another line going straight up. In doing that, you've now completed the 3 pieces and the 3 sections that are needed for the right side. We'll leave that for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, and there's no real measurement for this line. We're just going to go on a straight angle across, and we're going to make this about the width of maybe my hand. I think that's a good way to justify, or your hand. So use your hand, and that's the same width that you want it. You want to leave enough room. Add another small little skinny rectangle to the left side of that line that we created. And what we'll be making now is the little mesh area that's underneath the left handrail of our boardwalk. Using your ruler, as always, for lines. And we're going to create the left handrail, the bigger part of the left handrail. And again, creating a 3D, making sure that we have a block shape. Now we're going to make sure that you can have a good look at what Miss Joyce has drawn. And we're going to continue the lines of our boardwalk and make sure they're defined. We'll go in and shade a little bit more later on. We'll connect that to the edge of our paper. Again, another block going down. Make the lines for the stairs, and now we can define the areas that we made on the left hand side for the left hand railing. This is the bigger, most defined part of the picture, and in this area we're going to be looking at how to do the line work of the age spots of the trees. You'll see the different shading. I'm going to just put that above so that we can kind of look at the way that we're working on this together. So if we look at the big hollow area right there, we're just going to kind of go in a circle, small circles, and then inside the circle you notice that there's a little bit of a crack in the age of the tree, so looks like a peace sign almost. But we're going to make sure that we shade it all in, and just don't have to shade it all in now, but make the defined lines. And when we're doing tree lines, you know what's really nice, and I like working on them, is any way you want to make these lines, they work. So you can make one line that way, one line this way, and so long as you have the lines in, the wood will actually pop out and you'll be able to notice the definition. And it really brings it to life just by adding these lines. So we'll go and shade a little bit, going around with our pencils, making some more lines. Is always fun. And just underneath it, you want to really enhance the 3D part of the wood. So just make sure the point that you were at shows. I know that I needed to show it a little bit more. Perfect. And then you just go in and make a few more lines underneath. Now what we'll do is we'll make the longer part of the left side of the railing, and you want to do that by taking your triangle, and from the middle of the small block that we were working on, just go straight up, and you can go to about the same point of the boardwalk that dips to the right on the other side. So you're going to stop there, and now we can complete our mesh area. And how you do that is just tiny lines with your ruler, just 1 millimeter little lines, just going across, up and down, and then we're going to go horizontally, and we're going to create those same little lines, creating that mesh zone. Awesome. So just by doing that, now we've completed our little mesh area there to the left that I'm just showing you now. Now we can go in and start working on the larger part of that left side. This is my favorite one, actually, because you can make more markings on the wood and have a lot of fun with this one. So using your pencil, just kind of go in and create as many lines as you want. The more lines, the better. And in between the lines, you can make some, maybe eyelets, dark eyelets. Continue the lines. Go around. And you can shade, we'll shade in these lines a little later. You can make them darker if you want now, but you can shade them a little later. So go ahead and continue working away. I'm doing some more shading now, and this is where it really brings it in. So if you want, you can grab your black pencil crayon. It really helps to shade in the certain areas that you want to, or define lines. And we'll work back on our planks of our boardwalk. Now we're going to be making them go to the right a little bit. We notice that it's going more to the right. The perception is to the right, so we'll create them more on an angle. And as we are moving further into the trail, we're definitely going to start going a little more straight. Oops, that's what the eraser's for. And using your black pencil crayon, again, you're going to create that one dark shaded area on that part. It's great to have the photo as a reference as well. Wonderful. So now that we have all of our planks there, we can definitely try and grab some of our earth colors, like our dark grays and our light grays, and really make some of the lines pop. You can create some shading, maybe use the lines to define some of the darker points. I like to use two colors sometimes when doing this, and we'll do that a little later. I'll show you how to do that. So just choose a few different lines and, you know, give them a little bit more of a defined contour in there, and it just gives it more pizzazz. Miss Joyce likes that word. You're doing an amazing job. I know that this may be a little bit more of a harder sketch to do, but hey, that's why we have pause, and I like the fact that you are attempting it. Now let's work on the tree areas. That area and that area there, to the left and the right. We will do in a little bit, but using your earth tones again, your dark grays, your light grays, you can shade in a little bit more afterwards. Let's get some of these trees done. So I'm just gonna draw the stalk of the tree, the trunk and the bottom of the trunk of the tree, and we're going to just, you know, I like to shade in where it looks a little bit more open, so I have a little bit more of a background in my sketch. And then we're gonna go in and color in the tree. I decided to use my black pencil crayon because I thought maybe it would be easier to see them all. We'll go to the right side and we'll create the trees on that line. And I think there are 3, so we'll do one really tall, 2, and wider one, 3. Working on these trees is so much fun. You can add your branches, and I like to just quickly do a little sketch of where I want my branches to be. So on this tree, I'm just gonna go and do something simple. You can put some color. Grab a green pencil crayon. I just wanted to fill it in a little bit with the green pencil crayon, and then I'm going to go back in and just define the branches. Now, when we do the boardwalk and look at the way that everything is being pieced together, it looks really great, but you're going to notice that some areas are going to want to be shaded a little bit more. Everyone's got their own unique talents. Everyone is different. No two artists are the same. So what my picture looks like and what yours looks like may be different, but it will be similar in the sense that we've followed the instructions and we can draw and sketch, and that's important. Now, this part here, we want to continue the boardwalk. On the left-hand side of the railing, we're going to create 2 more lines, and again, we're going to make the lines in the tree wood that they used to make the walkway of the trail. Draw out some more planks. It's really coming to life now. and I love the way that the picture is looking. Now, going back to the left-hand railing, add some more line work, maybe some more shading. I went back to my black pencil crayon because I like the way that it makes it just pop out. I love drawing these, adding some lines, some little small lines in between the actual larger defined lines. Just gives it a little bit more definition. You can do the same to the planks on the right hand side. Just like that. I keep switching from pencil to black pencil crayon. It's just the way that, my hand wants to work with the drawing, and you could do the same. No two artists are alike, and that is important to remember. We're all different, but you are all doing an amazing job. Now, remember when I mentioned that I like to use some color and a few different colors? Now, this area here is a little bit more dense. There was some bushes in between the trees, so I grabbed my green crayon, my brown pencil crayon, my gray crayons, my black, and I kind of used all of these together in creating the dense area behind the trees. Now remember, these were the only things that I used, so let's continue. So using the brown, we're going to go in between the trees. It's almost like a reddy brown, so you can go and grab maybe a darker brown, put them in between, just like that. This is the fun part. Let your hand just go with your sketch. That's the most important part. Be relaxed and let your hand go with your sketch. Use your dark brown, shade in those trees a little bit more. Open it up. And the more you do some shading, go darker in certain areas and open it. And go with the branches, create some branches. Darker in some areas, again. Defining the lines, it'll slowly come together. Working on our last tree on this side, creating more shading. It's really starting to come together. I'm kind of excited. Almost makes me want to go for a walk on this trail for sure. Now let's go back to this side, and we're going to take our black pencil crayon and we're going to define some more of the lines and maybe shade just a little bit more of the left side of the handle. You can either do straight shading, or you can put your finger on top of the pencil, and with your finger on top of the pencil, what you're doing is you're actually rubbing in some of your pencil work and your crayon together and giving it a little bit more of a light shade there. You could use different colors if you want. If you don't want to use the gray, you can use the brown if you'd like as well. It's totally up to you. There's no right and wrong in art. I like to use my finger and put it on top of the crayon, mostly because of the shading and the different kind of shading that I'll get. Sometimes the finger will rub right over the pencil and create something that you can never achieve again if you tried to. So it's really neat to see how all the techniques that you can use in art come together in a sketch that you can make, and it really makes you feel proud that you are the one that actually drew this out. So I'm very proud of you for attempting this. Once again, Miss Joyce is always happy to see some of your artwork, so you can always... Now let's take a look at our picture and what we see from both sides. We can look at the trees that are in the background, and you can go back in and create more trees in the back of the line. Moving into shading in this area, what you can do is you can take your ruler or your triangle and you can use your black pencil crayon and create more of a definition in the planks. In each of the planks, the darker you go, the better. I know that I mentioned using two colors at one point. So here is the two colors. I'm using the dark brown and the black. And in doing this, it doesn't matter how your pencils go, but you are able to shade in a little bit more. So go to different areas and just use your two pencil crayons together and just make some random lines across the pencil lines that you've made, pressing down deeper in some of the areas and releasing a little lighter as you get to the edge is a great technique in adding depth and perception of the way that we are looking at these planks. So again, making deeper lines, putting them both together is really fun. I know that sometimes I put a bunch of colors together and write my name with them. So I don't know if anybody has done that before. But doing this in a few spots along the way, it really brings the picture to life. It doesn't matter if it's straight. If it jumps off your ruler, it's okay. Things like that sometimes are meant to happen. And like I said, sometimes you're drawing and you do something and you think it's a mistake, but in all reality, it's brings the picture, it makes it better, maybe. A lot of artists and painters who have painted many canvases have also done the same thing where they've painted something and then they're like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen, that was a mistake. But other people thought, what a beautiful painting, right? So the only person that knows that it was a mistake is you. So let's look at this photo. It looks amazing. The sketch is really, really coming together. So maybe shading in some of the behind the trees. And this sketch is really coming together now. So we're almost at the end. If you want, you can do the left side as well, create some shadowing behind. And taking this tree, I know that I made it dark gray, but I want to change it to some brown, some dark brown, add some lines, define some of the branches maybe. And as you go, you'll notice that your sketch is really coming to life. I hope you're enjoying doing some line work and the sketch of our Milne Trail with me. I know that I've really enjoyed making these videos for all the tutorials, for all of my art friends in the city of Markham. Maybe you can definitely take a photo of some of the artwork that you've done and share it with me on our Facebook page. And that is at Creative with a K and Kids with a Z Art Bus. Amazing. I really enjoyed sketching with you all today. Going back in and looking at the drawing, I see we've done beautiful line work on our wood. We've done amazing planks on the trail's boardwalk. The right side with the trees. You all did an amazing job. A big hand for everyone. And last but not least, every artist needs to sign their artwork. So here's mine. Let's see yours. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed being creative with Artie the Art Bus and I. Until next time, my art friends, be creative, enjoy what you do, and be artastic. Be you. Bye for now.